Hello fellow horror fans out there. I am Thorstein from Cinema Terror, and today I have a forgotten killer doll movie from 1991 to talk about. It's been dismissed as simply being a Child's Play ripoff, but is there more to the movie known as Dolly Dearest?
It's time to play. Play with this, bitch.
Dolly Dearest.
In Dolly Dearest we follow the Wade family. They head down to Mexico to take over a doll factory and get the finances back on track by producing a new line of dolls called Dolly Dearest. At the same time, an archaeologist is digging up an ancient Indian burial ground nearby, unleashing an evil spirit that has been locked inside of it for countless of years. This evil spirit from the tomb is from the satanic cult named Sansia, and it is now manifesting itself into the dolls of the doll factory. The little child of the Wade family, Jessica, gets attached to one of them, and before the family can figure things out, the demonic spirit has a hold over Jessica, and now they are all in greater danger than what they could ever have imagined.
Dolly?
Dolly Dearest is no child's play, but I don't believe it was trying to be that either. The plot is different enough that both Chucky and Dolly can easily live together in each of its worlds. With the ancient cult angle, Dolly Dearest separates itself by becoming a bit more of a supernatural film, and I found those elements between that and the killer doll part to work quite well together, even if there are no real logic presented here as to why the spirit would possess a toy and not just a living being. Candace Hudson plays Jessica, and she gets the tough job of going from being a sweet, innocent little girl into being a child that has to look menacing. I don't think she nailed the menacing part, as I didn't find her threatening at all, but she was a little kid, so I can't really hold that against her, of course, even if it does affect the movie. Denise Crosby plays her mother Marilyn, and this was only a few years after Pet Sematary came out, and she gives pretty much the same performance here. I kinda wanted a bit more emotion from her, as I find her to be a bit cold at times. Sam Barron plays Wade, the father of the family, and he didn't do much to make him memorable, but the real star of the film is their son Jimmy, played by Chris Demetral.
What's going on here?
He plays a nerdy, book-smart kid, and yet the filmmakers decided to do something fun with him by letting him have guts and be heroic as hell. He brought some much-needed energy and fun to the film, and I wish he had a bigger presence during the first half of the film, as the film suffers from having a bit of a slow pacing. There is nothing wrong with taking your time in building up a story, but there was moments during this film that I felt myself becoming a bit bored and taken out of it. Dolly Dearest is directed by Maria Lees, and she's a woman who has had an interesting career in cinema. She started out as an actress doing work in exploitation flicks in the 60s and early 70s, including parts in movies such as Love Camp 7 and Dracula vs. Frankenstein, before she started to get involved behind the camera as well, and she has done nearly anything you can on the movie production, from editing, writing, being a script supervisor, and even directing a few adult features as well. It's cool how she got the task to write and direct this film years after being active, and I think she did a good job on this as a first-time director on a horror film. The strong scenes in this film is mostly due to how they are constructed, and also by the great sound and music by Mark Snow, who is a legend forever due to him creating the theme song for The X-Files. Lees also had experienced people behind her, with Lee Frost, Daniel Caddy and Pierre David all being producers on this film. All three men has had long careers and know what they are doing. It's too bad that she didn't continue to work in this genre, as the only other directorial credit she has after this was on the TV show Silk Stockings. Although her work on Dolly Dearest was far from flawless, I think it proved enough that she should have gotten a chance to work on another horror film. Oh, and how can I not talk about the doll itself when I discuss a killer doll movie? The doll is creepy enough, but aren't all dolls creepy though? It doesn't do all that much in the first half of the film, but in the end there is plenty of silly doll action to be enjoyed. Some of its behavior during the final part is not very ancient evil spirit-like though, and I guess here is where the comparison to Chucky came from. Honestly, the entire film could have worked just as well without the doll involved, but I guess the selling point of a killer doll movie made sense at the time, which it of course did. Dolly Dearest is a nice film. It serves its purpose of bringing 93 minutes of entertainment, and that's enough for me to be happy with the film. I think this is a film for horror fans like myself, who might have grown up with 90s horror, or perhaps just have an affection for them. In fact, if Annabelle was made back in 1991, then I am sure it would be very like Dolly Dearest. It should be easy to judge for you by this review if this will be something for you or not, and if you are like me, then you will find Dolly Dearest to be a flawed but entertaining little film. Dolly Dearest gets a 3 out of 5. So, have you seen Dolly Dearest? What did you think of the film? And do you know of any underrated killer doll or puppet movies? Let me and others know about it in the comment section below. If killer puppet movies are your thing, then check out my review for the recently released Puppet Master The Littlest Reich. A like and a subscribe if you haven't done that already does make my day better, and I hope you enjoyed this video and that you will check out more of what I have here on Cinema Terror. Thank you for watching.